So, one of the new trending things on TikTok is sublimating on Oracal 651 white and 651 clear. So, I tested it out to put some pictures on my Mother's Day plate, and I have been asked, how did you do that? So, let's do it. For this sticker, I chose a super simple design. I'm going to layer black vinyl on top of my tie-dye sublimated offset. So for the offset, I'm using Oracle 651 in white. And for my font, I'm using Frisco Crafts Matte Black Permanent Vinyl. Never actually used that vinyl before, so I'm curious to see how well it works. Now, while I'm cutting my vinyl, I do have my printer printing out my tie-dye design. I just go ahead and start cutting my vinyl because I turn the high-speed option off on my sublimation printer so that I can get the best quality possible with my print. I do cut that one on the medium cardstock setting. I have found that it goes all the way through, it doesn't cause my edges to fray, and I don't have any parts where I have to go over it again with my scissors. So that's just the setting that I use. Once I have all of my pieces cut and ready to go, I start weeding my vinyl. Now, Frisco Craft, I was a little surprised that it was a little trickier to weed. Now, I'm not sure how much of that was the text and how much of that was the vinyl, because I do know that some text can be a little bit harder to weed than others. But overall, it feels very, very comparable to Oracle 651 matte black finish. So, super impressed so far. After I get my vinyl weeded, I go ahead and tape my sublimation to my vinyl. I like to use a lot of tape, so that's just my preference though. Better safe than sorry. So I grab a piece of butcher paper, put it underneath, and I taped my sticker down to the paper so it doesn't move whatsoever. As far as pressing, I started off with my press at 350 degrees and I pressed it for 25 seconds. That was not enough for this sticker, so I went ahead and pressed it for another 10 to 15 seconds. The time and the temperature you're going to have to play around with. The temperature I started with when I was experimenting with this was 340 degrees for 25 seconds. That wasn't near enough. But my heat press fluctuates in temperature quite a bit. So I would say start with, 340, 350. Play around with it. Start off with less time and less heat and just work your way up as you need to. So then you're not burning or melting anything. But that's just my advice. That's just how I came about getting my sublimation to take well on the vinyl. So after I've peeled that up, I'm going to go ahead and put on my black letters. I couldn't use the parchment paper for this, so I had to use the Hinge Method to put the middle in first and then just lay the sides out. No bubbles. Perfect. I love the Hinge Method if I can't use parchment paper. Then I just trimmed it down. So there you go.